So hi and welcome back. Happy New Year. In our today's video, we are going to be discussing about the factors to consider when buying a mobile charger. A mobile charger is inevitable. Maybe yours was lost, stolen, but you need it. Well, some people say the mobile chargers from Tecno, Infinix, Oppo, iPhone, they are the original, or others say Oroimo. Okay, the manufacturer may be right, but what factors do you have to look at even before you can buy a charger? Because sometimes you might buy a charger which damages your phone or your battery life. Know it yourself, do it yourself. Let's do this. Well, we have three factors. The first factor is input ratings of charger. The second factor is the output of the charger. The third factor is input of your phone. The first factor being input ratings of the charger, we look at three factors. Look at this mobile charger here. Well, you notice we have manufacturer's ratings here. The input ratings of the charger is usually the manufacturer's input rating. The element which is inside this charger has been built by the manufacturer, and therefore if your electricity or the electricity in your country doesn't meet these specifications, then that means that charger cannot work in your country. We have three factors we look at in the input ratings of a charger. The first factor is operating voltage. The operating voltage, for instance, in Kenya for the grid is up to 240. For the United States, some states operate up to 120 volts. That means if you take a mobile charger from the United States and you want to use it in Kenya, it cannot work. Or rather, sometimes you find it working but fluctuating. Well, so this is a factor to always look at when buying a mobile charger. The second factor under input ratings of the charger is operating frequency. Again, I reference with Kenya. Kenya uses 50 Hz. 50 Hz is the operating frequency. Other countries uses 60 Hz exclusive. So if you buy a mobile charger in Kenya, make sure it is 50 Hz. If your country uses 60 Hz, make sure it's 60 Hz. If you look at this charger, for instance, the operating frequency is from 50 to 60 Hz. So this means it can be used in different countries or in different frequency rating. The third factor, which is not very important for you but you should know, is operating current. This is designed as operating current, but if it meets the first two, the operating voltage and frequency, then you can buy that charger. So let's look at the second factor, the output of the charger. What factors do you consider on the output of the charger? You consider the power output of the charger. I know some people fear mathematics, but we have a simple equation here of power. Power is given by voltage times current. This is a very simple equation. Take a case scenario of a charger here snippet. The voltage here is 5 volt. It's written output 5 volts and the current is 2 ampere. That gives 2 times 5, which is 10 watts. Well, this is very easy equation of multiplication. But now, what after getting this, wattage, fancy equation, fancy months, but what do you do with this? You realize one thing: if you have a phone which has a capability of 40 watts, but you use a mobile charger with ratings of 40 watts, that will be a slow charger. Where do you get this 40 watts? That is the third factor that we'll be discussing. Every phone has its own specification rating. You realize every time you buy a phone, there is a small book given that is called user's manual. The user's manual has got the rating, the power rating of the phone. Well, I know you don't have the user's manual in your house, but it is always on net. That will be the third factor. Before we can go on to the third factor and show you how exactly you match the rating in the phone's charger in the shop and your phone's rating, let me talk about voltage output of the charger and voltage ratings of your phone. Make sure that the output voltage rating of your charger is equal to the input rating of your phone's specification. Well, I know some people ask questions like, does using higher rated watts or rather current damage your phone? Well, you realize one thing about phones or any device: it is able to draw what it can hold. So if the phone is rated 40 watts and you find it's a charger which has got 6 amperes and 5 watts, that means the power is 6 times 5, which is 30 watts. So if the maximum power is 40 watts, that means that phone can charge successfully. Well, but another question comes: what can damage my phone? What can damage your phone is, using, let's say the phone is rated 30 watts, but you are using a charger which is rated 40 watts, maybe 8 amperes and 5 volts. That is 5 times 4, which is 40 watts. That means the voltage of charger is higher than the rating of your phone, so your phone is gonna be damaged. How do you know an original charger? One of the factors that I will recommend is looking at certifications. Every product has got its own certification. Most of the chargers, for instance, the chargers here are written CE. CE actually is not a certification, but is more of to show you that this product has been passed by EU or Euro, meaning that it meets the safety, health, and environmental measures. So that means that product can be used. You can look at factors such as ROHS. ROHS means restriction of certain hazardous measures. And of course, we have other certifications. Depends with your country. And you can always look at those factors depending on your country. You can see the certification that is meant. But for the country Kenya, always look at CE. You can look for MFI if you are using an iPhone phone. The third factor we were talking about is on the voltage rating of the phone. I want us to check here on the website Samsung A20s. I want to show you how you can see it if you do not have. You'd always go to the official website. This is the official website. And then search Control F to find battery. You notice the power rating is 15 watts. That means if your charger is 2 amperes and 5 volts, you can charge this phone very comfortably. So make sure every time you are buying a charger, it does not exceed the ratings of your phone. For instance, this is 15 watts, right? So if you are going to buy a charger that is rated 30 watts and this is only rated 15 watts, you're gonna damage your phone. Well, so let's go to the third and the last discussion. Should I leave my phone overnight charging to get to 100%? The faster answer is no. You should not leave your phone charging overnight. Why? Because you will damage the lifespan of your battery. So I'll give an analogy. Take a case scenario. You have a tank here and someone is drawing water and this tank is fully sealed, doesn't have an overflow outlet, no overflow outlet, and there is some input water. So what happens when it is full and someone comes and draws some water, what happens is after drawing some water, we have a space here. This space is filled up, so it means we'll be having cycles, some water out, getting filled up, and things like that. So what usually happens is your phone will be refilled every now and then, because your charger will always act as more of powering device when your phone is full, and these cycles will always damage your battery life and shorten its lifespan. Well, so it is very advised that you should not leave your phone overnight for longer battery life. And lastly, always charge your phone up to 80 to 90%. Getting it to 100, again, it will strain your battery and of course shorten the battery life. If you find this content useful, kindly share with your friend, subscribe to my channel. They do this. Thank you so very much.